much longer than normal.
Great. Thank you for that. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. This is EP 11 of We'd Been There. We're actually just calling this one the Sesh. What we're going to do today here is we're going to be bringing the panel to the podcast. I'm just trying to get, there we go. I was trying to get the comments up. How you doing, Jazz?
Fucking weed pipes, your bongs,
Yeah,
your
get all your
dabbers.
finalia ready.
Whatever tickles the fancy.
So I'm Rick from Uncle Rick's Genetics. We could just go down the panel. You could introduce yourselves if you'd like.
I'm Ryan from Great Green Door.
I'm next. I didn't know that's what we were getting. Yeah. After no further ado, my name is Matt.
And I'm Rod from Utopia Essential Nutrients.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. Rod from Utopic Essential Nutrients. We talk about Rod quite frequently in our normal lives. And if you have not heard about Utopic Essential Nutrients, definitely check them out. They have all natural nutrients that are a 5-part bottle system. Basically, you don't have to do anything but follow the plan and grow your plants. We got a couple people in the chat. We have Jazz and Todd. How you doing, guys? Please feel free to ask any questions about anything you're having issues with, anything you just think you want to get some info on, or whatever. And just as a reminder, if you're trying to be a part of our next podcast and ask us questions or be part of the commentary, all you have to do is be a subscriber. Our subscriber stream is where we go live, and that is on Facebook. So if you go to the Uncle Rick's page, you can find the subscribe button, and we have private groups where you can join in on the lives themselves, ask questions, be a part of it, and there's a myriad of other things like discounts and just there's a ton of other member benefits, but just to keep you informed as of where this is going down. And as always, if you're watching from our subscriber feed, this is always going to be posted in the Podbean or YouTube podcast the next day. So make sure to catch us on the go if you can't watch. John Harmon, how you doing?
John
Harmon.
Evening, John.
Jazz said that she's
guy.
yeah, he's a crossover. He's been with us for a while, and I'm really excited to see what he does when he gets back into growing for full out, because he's right now not really growing yet, but he will be soon. I really can't wait to see what he does. His plants are incredible. He's won a couple of grow-offs we've thrown as well.
Yeah.
Jay Outdoorsman,
Nice.
How you doing? Jazz said that she's new to growing and she's just soaking up any and all information. Jay Outdoorsman's here. Nice to see you, brother. Thanks for making it. So we have a couple topics that we want to just talk about when we get into it, but I think we should all get a little stony baloney. Matt, are you think what I'm thinking?
Am I doing the old welcome to the live, Dad?
I'm joining you, pal. I don't know if you could hear the blowtorch.
I gotta grab a utensil really quick, but yeah.
If you're listening along the podcast and you're not driving a car or doing stuff that you shouldn't be smoking, definitely smoke up with us because it's going to be a good time. We're going to be really stoked.
Staged up pretty good.
And if you're in the live feed, absolutely smoke them if you got them. That's not even a question. Make sure, guys, the people that just joined the chat, if you have any questions specifically you want answered from anyone on the panel, feel free to ask. My torch needs a silencer. It's actually a full-blown, like...
So smoking a pancake.
This is a full-blown, like, plumbing torch, so it's pretty solid. So, I don't like going to the store or filling it, I don't like going to the store or filling
So
it up.
tiny. Yeah, this is more of like a bullshit and hangout type of episode.
Well, we went seed to harvest already. Now
Yeah,
it's
we
a
did
now it's a
that.
podcast.
Now, like after you just run 19 miles on the treadmill, you get the little cool down period.
Yeah, you gotta
You
walk.
know, so I don't use a treadmill, guys. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. I just know about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they're out there, but I've never really fully,
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. John, you talking about the green Coleman ones that the little they're definitely the best. We love those.
We're gonna do a little garlic dab here.
Jazz said she's having a hard time hearing everybody else, so I'm gonna turn you guys up. Jazz, let me know if they're too loud, because you're actually like the perfect test subject. I don't know why, but when it's good on your end, everybody else is fine.
Turn your mics down, folks.
There you go. You all right, pal?
Well, I'm just recovering from the summer flu and then a fucking sinus infection right after it. So
The summer flu.
I was a little unexpected, but the head rush is there, so we're good.
Shout out to our winners. If you are into it, we just had a super awesome giveaway with
The ones
13
who actually
winners.
showed up.
People that showed up for it and
Right.
answered.
Hey, don't-
Most people
have
already
shit
answered.
to give away today, no?
No, we gave away a lot of things Saturday.
Oh, there's
Lots of
we have-
things. It was on our
got
public
something,
page
Matt.
too.
What you're saying is
No,
we've got nothing left to give. We've done given it all.
I actually gave away a bunch of stuff, and people didn't answer me all weekend and today, so I had to give it away. You know,
Give it away now.
give it away. We didn't get to give it away again, but if we get to give it away now, I'm gonna lose my mind, because that's just crazy. You know, 3 of them will be too much, dude.
And
So-
Shepard won the newts, right? So you say you have people that haven't even hit you up yet for the stuff that he won. Like we
Yeah.
weren't even out of the live we were doing. And
And
I was
you-
like, I'm so geeked to try your stuff. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
so
dude,
cool.
immediately, like within a minute, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, dude. Like, you know, I was a little in my feelings about that, because, you know, it wasn't like we were giving away a couple seeds. We gave away easily over
Shit.
$1,000 just in the photon and the you know,
We
controller.
gave away a light. When did that happen?
We gave away a
All kinds of
photon. We gave away a Photon 680 with a full environment controller. We gave away the Osiris Veg Light in a single, 2 singles, and in a double. And then we gave away 3 triple packs: Purple Madness, Void, Doc 47, and Blackberry Runts. We gave Future #1 Rose Singularity pack out. Pack of Critical, pack of Hawaiian Barbecue, pack of Singularity. And then Rod wanted to go and throw a Utopic in, so we gave away a Utopic pack. And then on top of that, we did a Mac Daddy Durbin for Alan Cook and Gina Scholar. So we got 13 giveaways yesterday. Saturday.
Was
on
that
our
the, that was the
Bake.
wake and bake? Oh,
Yeah. It was
I like
actually
that.
awesome.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was just more concerned with wishing you a happy birthday than really paying attention to what was going on.
I appreciate it, man. Max Bland, how you doing, brother?
Congratulations to those winners, and consider yourselves very lucky, because I don't even have that. Like, I don't have a photo with a full environmental controller and all the doodads and whisker biscuits and all
Whisker
that shit.
biscuits, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doodads and whatnot.
Yeah,
And the Huzuwatis.
and fucking hula hoops, and you know.
Hey, I sent Alan 250-gallon totes of each. You think he's got a high-low at the house? You can get him in there.
Oh my god,
He's in the
dude.
driveway.
That would be insane if you sent him that, dude.
What if I get really big? When I get really big, and that like we send that like by accident to somebody?
No, we gotta do a lifetime supply.
Somebody who was going to get 250-gallon totes got pints. Somebody who was supposed to get pints got 250-gallon totes.
That would be crazy.
I'd be like, Dad, you screwed that order up.
So you said Jazz is a new to growing?
Yes, she is.
Well, Jazz, if you're still in here, what concerns you the most? I mean, let's interact with the chat a little bit. Let's answer.
Jazz. What are you growing in for a medium, Jazz?
John, I wish that you could have gotten the 680 to use as a veg light. That would have been really crazy. Go 680 to 960. That would have been wild. Oof.
Kaboom.
Well, yeah, seriously.
She grows in soil. That's actually one of the topics here.
What soil?
We were going to bring up. Do you do a living soil, or do you do more of a
soil or
Fox Farm,
amended or store bought? I know we asked you like 5 questions, but
I hope you're a fast typer.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I'm trying to work on is
hold music.
Seeing if we could do something where we could get people into the live stream to actually like chat with us instead of having to type to us.
Right.
Oh, bring it.
Yeah, I can't
people
do this
with
off my
questions should
phone.
be able to pop on. That'd be great, dude. If people could pop on with a question, hang out with us for the answer, then that would be sweet.
She said that she's using the soil outside of her house. They have awesome soil where she lives. Are you growing indoors with that outdoor soil? And do you struggle with it at all with like pests or funguses?
That was my big question is buggies coming in from the outside.
Or just being in the medium that you're using outside.
I would worry first of what that soil is composed of.
They don't grow inside. So you grow outside. Okay.
Oh, she's outdoors. Okay.
Outdoor grower. All right. Well, I mean, a lot of what you're going to be dealing with as an outdoor grower is, letting Mother Nature do its thing. It's actually much less to know outside except for like trimming and pruning and some training. And yeah, if it's going to be drought, you got to watch out for your inclement weather when you're going to have like, crazy storms and stuff. There's not a whole lot. Outside is pretty easy, especially if you have great soil.
But we didn't ask the important question, though. Did she put it in the ground?
Hashtag put it in the ground. Obviously. Is this in the ground?
Hashtag wasn't tested. Yeah,
or is this
tested? Does she know what's in it?
Yeah, did you test your soil, and is it staying in a pot in the ground, or in a pot outside, or in the ground? John says bugs and not being able to control the environment. Right. That's outside for sure. That sucks, dude. And that's why we push for indoor.
Yeah, you get what the Lord gives you when you're outdoor. Torrential downpours, the drought, like weeks of hot, just like it's bugs.
I mean, do you need to amend the soil? Is it already amended? Like, what's in it? Do you know what's in it?
Does she supplement it?
Hashtag put it in the ground. Do you amend your soil? That's what she said. Hashtag put it in the ground. Do you amend your soil, or do you just use what Mother Nature's given you? The old man usually does well. I've honestly never tested the soil.
And if you don't know, pretty much at any garden center, you can order them all online as well. They have soil test kits, so that you can take a small sample of your dirt. You can test the nitrogen levels, the potassium levels.
If phosphorus.
I mean, yeah, but they have more complicated ones that will actually take it a little step further, but they're kind of pretty expensive. Yeah. And some of them do require you to send them to like a lab. But just to get a baseline of, your essentials.
Your big three.
You can definitely get one of those, $20 soil test kits, see where you're sitting, and, take it from there. Just so you know what's in your soil and what you can do to help it better perform for your plant. Um, that's just a small piece of advice from the very jump. Um, just because you might be growing, I mean, I understand it's great soil. If you haven't really grown cannabis, it feeds a little bit differently than your standard, vegetables and little flower plants that pop up. So you definitely kind of have that knowledge of what's needed to take that plant the distance.
And to get
that's
decent medicine from it, not larvae. You want some solid bud and some good medicine, right? That's what we're doing this for,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so she needs to know what her big three are. The big three.
I would definitely see. It's easy enough to get it tested. I would see if you can manage to get that done. We have a comment from Max. It says, "Rod, I love the seedlings. Been following in your group, trying to discover your truth."
Is that Max Bland?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So they went to my best friend Robbie's house, and they're under light still. We're gonna get them a little bit bigger. I don't want to get them outdoor with being all torrential downpours and extreme heats, and so they're still only about that tall. They're only maybe 10 days out of the soil. Not even. I'm not sure.
Right. No, you're at 10 days.
Yeah, about there. And we're going to let them get, 6 inches taller, and I'm just going to throw them in some 25s and see what happens outdoor.
Nice.
There we go.
Jazz said the old man has grown cannabis outside with the same soil. Never a problem. Always beautiful plants. So,
what is he replenishing it with?
Beautiful plants. So, what is happening? Did you hear that?
We had a pause or something.
That's really weird. It's like audio just started playing.
To me, it sounded like you were talking into an aluminum can.
I know, but that wasn't me talking. That was like 15 seconds ago.
I've done that a lot in my lifetime.
That was 15 seconds ago, Matt.
Maybe there was a lag.
Definitely. That was super weird.
I mean, if your soil performs, then it.
Where do you get where does she get a tester kit? Can't she pick that up at like Home Depot?
Yeah, you get Home Depot, Garden Center, or
any garden
Amazon.
center. Yeah.
You get a bunch of them on Amazon for cheap.
Plants in new areas. Oh, he plants in a new place every year. So that's pretty smart. Okay. I've actually not heard somebody really doing that. Yeah, but planting in a different place. You must have good property.
Yeah, seriously, right?
We have decent areas to work with, thankfully. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Max said he's excited to see what your nutrients compare with density and coal size. Hey, Rod, why don't you give us a little spiel about the nutrients, man? Why don't you give us just a little rundown of what Utopic is and all about? I don't think we've had you on the podcast, so it's a good time for you to kind of...
No problem. No problem. I guess you start from the beginning so that people can understand the truth. What the truth is to things. So a second generation corn farmer out of Marion, Ohio, was going to get ready to get a medical license through the state of Ohio, legal medical license to grow a lot of plants and to feed 3 of his soon-to-be dispensaries with the medicinal level cannabis, CBD, all the whole works, every single product. And what he's going to be doing is he's going to have like a wall of certain strains that we've heard help certain things.
Right.
So people can like pick from what they have going on medically. So this is where this farmer's head is at, right? Specific newts to give to his specific strains to help specific things to help people. So that's where the premise of our nutrients started. He's on a farm. I've never seen a farm this big. His family's been growing corn and soybean for 100 years. He's been blending his own nutrients for the farm, his own fertilizer, since he was in high school with his dad. Then he went to college for like newts, so and agronomy and some other things, to be a farmer in a modern age. I mean, this guy's got tractors the size of my house and they're lined up. Just so you know where this is coming from. So what happened was he went and got a bunch of the newts that are out there in the market, and he took them to an independent lab. He said, "Hey, I just want to know what's in these." And I'm telling you these things secondhand after he's told me years ago about all this stuff. So what he found is that nutrient companies were putting in some instances. I'm not going to say who their names are or do that right now, but there is one thing that has a one product company that is extremely expensive, and there isn't anything in their newts that's going to help your plant in any good way. And you pay like $500 a gallon or some crap for it. Anyway, so what Chip wanted to do, he had to grow medicinally, so he had to create a nutrient line for him that would produce medical level cannabis, and all the regulatory agencies going, that's clean, that's medicinal, that's good for you. There's nothing in there bad, no heavy metals, no nonsense, no sludge is what I like to call it. Mm-hmm. So he got together with a cannabis chemist and his agricultural chemist and one of the big manufacturers, and the three of them sat down for 6 months and they made a nutrient line just for the farmer Chip. And long story short, he ended up he never meant us to go to town. He never meant to go to market. And he got denied on his medical grow. He didn't cross an I or T, dot an I across the T. So he knew it'd be a couple of years worth of time before he'd finally get approved, the appeal process. So he put the nutrients out there in a couple of stores. He got it labeled and paid all that money and got legal in all the states and decided to produce this a little bit and get it out there. And it just happened to be a store near me. And so I found it through a friend. I started using it. It changed my grow absolutely immediately, first dose. And I was buying it from that one store and it ran out. Like I bought it all. And a buddy of mine, and then
you bought all of it.
All of it was gone off their shelves. Down. I had a lot of plants at the time, So I went to 5 stores around me. No one had it. And so I know the story on why now, but I didn't then. Okay. So I can't find it. So I called the home office in Marion, Ohio. And this farmer dude answers, And I was telling him how much I loved his newts and how it changed my grow exponentially. Like I can't even explain how good it was. And he's like, well, I'm not in any more stores, but I can ship it to you or you can come get it. Well, I'm like an hour north of Detroit. So I'm like, where in Ohio are you? Ended up, I went to go get it from him. And then I learned the story that they got it in the one store up here in Michigan, and it was on consignment because no one knew about Utopic, nobody. So who's going to ask for it? So the store, they don't mind putting it on the shelf as long as it doesn't cost them anything. And maybe the thing takes off. Well, it took off with me and my buddies. And so I found out later that store, Chip called to ask how it was going up there and told the stores told them that they put it in a free rack because nobody bought any and messed them out of $7,000 in nutrients.
Wow.
And meanwhile, I'm like, me and my buddies think it's the greatest shit we ever saw in our lives. We were like freaking out, And so I went down and I met him and I got some newts from him. I paid distributor cost. He was cool. But that sit down was like 9 hours. It's a 2.5-hour ride, 2.5-hour ride plus 9. And me and this old farmer just sat there and talked about life and stuff. And then, so I kept going to get it from him. And over time, we built a friendship. And he's got all the stuff, all the labels, all the jugs, all the bottles, all the stuff. He has no one to help him get it in the stores. He's like almost 70 now. And I was like, let me try. And that was 3 years ago. And so here we are with medicinal level, pharmaceutical grade nutrients, clean to their most refined clean as you can get, uh, and all natural stuff. And we've got this trade secret thing is the plant hormones and how much we use of each one, and we get that from organic kelp. From kelp that was raised organically, no chemicals to them or nothing nasty. So we can't say we're 100% organic, but we can say we're 100% clean. We are crushed rocks to the finest refinement, and a bunch of other good stuff. And what we have found is discover the truth, right? Like the first dose on my dying plants, they were dying. I had seedlings that were this tall, yellow, and laying down on the cocoa. One dose. And the next day, it's the truest story of my life. I opened up that door and I looked in my bedroom and I said, baby, come here. And she come over and I go, you've got to see this. And she looked in there, she looked at me, I looked at her, and we literally giggled. And that is a true story about, I was just like, what the fuck? The yellows were standing straight up. 3 days later, they were almost green. 6 or 7, like 3 doses, they were like this tall, rocking and rolling. I'm like, what? And the more I went down to see Chip, the more I learned about the newts. Each time I was just putting it in this ear so that I could learn all I could learn before I ever decided to be a founder and take off with it, And I learned, and I'm still learning every day. I got growers today still teaching me about my newts. Did you know? I'm like,
yeah,
what?
Right. Yeah, it's really
that's
cool.
the whole. There it is, the historical utopic story. And Chip is still alive and well. He wants me to do everything. I'm going to bring the bottler up here and manufacture it myself now. Soon, keep getting it open, please. And then I can. I'll have enough money to get the bottler in Michigan. So we'll be a Michigan-owned, veteran-owned fertilizer, Michigan fertilizer, everything Michigan in one spot. So that's our goal. If we get there, I call it a success.
Rod, you will get there. You have a great product,
there,
and
Rob.
many people are using it.
I don't do anything. The newts do the work.
There's a lot of people using your stuff, dude, and honestly, it's pretty crazy how easy it is. Just follow the chart. Do what you got to do.
Well, I hope people can at least believe in a genuine story that turned out great for everybody. Everybody that uses it loves it. Chip's happy because I'm getting my newts from him. I'm happy because people are. I'm doing what I said I was going to do. I was going to help people grow better medicine. If I could just do that, we'll be to the moon and back.
Right.
Now with all those other nutrient companies, they're all full of crap.
A lot of them are, man.
Literally.
A lot of them are. It's unfortunate, but it's a reality that many people find out later on. And it's kind of a red flag when you're buying a amended soil and then you're feeding it with the same company's nutrients. The soil should be amended so that it doesn't need nutrients, but I don't know. It's kind of right in plain sight a lot of the times, and you don't realize stuff, And Rod, we are in a private live, but it is a public podcast, so I do appreciate you not throwing whoever under the bus, but we will be going live in the subscribers den, and when we do, you don't have to keep people from knowing who it is. We would like our members to have our honest opinions when we're in our private grow community and it's not a podcast. We will definitely let you know who not to spend the money on, because that's kind of what we've done all this time, was spend money, waste money, and then we're trying to save you money. So at some point we will reveal these things. It's not like we're trying to talk shit about them, though. We really just want to save people from the heartache. And we usually don't talk about anything we can't hand you a different product of and be like, this is how this should be. At least try it. Matt, you said you had a topic you wanted to bring up as well.
Yeah, it's more like what we were kind of just almost talking about before Utopic told us the story here. Just knowing what's in your soil, soil biology, how it works, how things work in tandem. I mean, I'm not gonna cover down to the finest bacteria here, but just going over the basics, like if you're using store-bought soil, and kind of what Eric brought up also plays into this. If you're paying for organic living soil, if you're in like the $30-$40 bag range, you shouldn't have to buy another $100, $200, $300 worth of nutrients to feed that. I mean, if that's the case, you can literally dig up your backyard, sift the rocks out of it, throw that in a pot, and feed it those nutrients. You don't need to be like an organic living soil should be self-sustaining. It should replenish itself over time, as long as you do the right things to keep that biology working. And that's how basic composting is. Basic composting is taking a nutrient-rich soil, growing in it, depleting it of its nutrients, and then having to replenish it with more biology. And in turn, those exchanges happen, and that soil gets replenished with everything that plant just took out of it, if not more. So knowing your soil, I barely feed my plants. Sometimes to a fault. I trust in the soil that I use. That
oh god.
And I know I understand. Not everyone can do that. But,
please, Matt, can you tell us your old nickname that you used to have? And it was almost on purpose. I think it was on purpose, bro.
My old nickname was the Yellow Pheno King.
Self-given.
Yellow Pheno King?
Yellow Pheno King.
So I was like severely starve my plants to the point where like they were like that color entirely.
But the buds were fire, dude. I smoked them. He had fire buds on, right? But that's why he was just like, fuck it, I don't need a green plant.
Yeah, as long as the buds are good, right? Fuck.
They were good. It was crazy.
So, but like I try to believe in my soil. I don't want to add, and I'm talking about this is years ago, guys. Like
this was years ago. He was also experimenting with like 18. He had like 18 different nutrient companies sending him shit, and he just kept different shit. I'm like, bro,
you guys want to see like some, and like not to take away, but like you see this right here. This is Athena's full
entire grow
line. Like. That's
never used it.
$600 nutrient kit.
Yeah, man.
You think I opened it?
It's never been opened. It's never been opened.
So like when it comes to like wasting money and doing stupid shit, yeah.
So did you say Athena full blend line giveaway?
Probably expired by now.
No, it's actually unopened. It's good up to like 5 years. But here's the thing. I'll definitely send it to somebody. They gotta pay shipping,
right?
Because listen, I was gonna give this away. You know how much it costs to ship?
Like $50.
14 gallons.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
it's 14 gallons. It's like $190.
Yeah. Shit. It's 3 40-pound boxes. So
that's crazy, dude.
120 pounds.
Jazz asked a question.
A small
I think this is for you, Rod. It says thoughts on organic Rev, something she was suggested to at one point.
I don't know what that is.
REV. I feel like I've heard of it's Rev Nutrients, right?
Let's see.
I think organic Rev is like a bloom booster.
Let's look.
Yeah, I can. Let me. I'm going to back up just for 1 second, just so that Eric and the whole world knows. I don't speak bad about any nutrient company out there in the market. Not the organic people, not the synthetic people. Nobody. What I will get on is that the cannabis fertilizer industry needs to step it up and raise their game for people who can't compost. Either
Absolutely.
bring good, clean nutrients to the market or sit down.
Absolutely.
Stop hurting people. So I don't talk about nutrient companies. I talk about the cannabis fertilizer industry as a whole. We need to do better. That's all I'm going to say on it.
That's 100% true, bro. You should definitely expose a single that you guys tested just for analysis comparison.
Yeah. And I'm not saying Athena's
not to talk shit about anyone, but just to show
because I've never
show it's out there.
The farmer Chip said with his analyses that the only nutrient line he would use if it was not his own would be Athena. So discover the truth. I'll tell the good of somebody's doing good to make good medicine. I'll talk about it. Athena makes a pretty damn good product.
So, and here's the thing, like I got that because this is when I first started with my autopot system. Because time is an issue for me sometimes. I'm a busy person and I don't have hours to sit there with droppers and measuring and my pH is too high now. Now I put too many drops in, or I didn't mix it good enough. Now it's too low. You play all these games. So the reason why I got that is because running a hydro medium hybrid grow, what was happening was I wasn't able to necessarily supplement certain things in a water reservoir because it would coagulate, it would mold, it would start to go bad. So, they claim that this blended line, and this is why it has such a long shelf life, is it's supposed to be the cleanest product out there on the market. It's slightly synthetic, but it's supposed to be the cleanest, hybrid nutrient, organic synthetic combination. And that's definitely something that I lean towards, is if I can get it cleaner with better results, absolutely. Like I'm ingesting this stuff, so I don't want to put any crazy stuff into my body. Since then, though, between acquiring this and, learning along the way, what works for me, I use nutrients. Don't get me wrong. I do use them. But I try to amend my soil to where it does what it needs to do with very little to no, upkeep, it's controlling itself almost.
Yeah.
And I still learn, how everybody else learns, I still learn of, I've improved this far, but I'm still struggling now a little bit later. I'm making progress, but I'm noticing some of the same things happen. So do I need to make it strong, or do I need to use something, so I'm constantly playing and toying with things. If I really don't have time to do that, I use a full nutrient line. And 100%, if I get a nutrient kit or I see somebody that, wants me to try something, I try it 100%, because somebody could have the golden goose over there, I am willing to try and do anything and see how it performs. But knowing what's in your soil, knowing what you're going to need to supplement, knowledge of how plants grow, I mean, that's basic soil biology is, do you have enough nitrogen? Do you have enough phosphorus? Do you have enough potassium? Then you go into, do you have calcium in your soil? Is there zinc? Is there copper? You know, iron. So like, I've have friends that grow and like they make their own soils and how they get iron. And it's crazy, craziest thing in the world. You'd never think it. They take old wrenches and throw them in a bucket of water and
I bet it
leave it
works.
leave it on the porch. They rust. They let them dry. They take a steel brush and they brush this shit off and they mix it in with their dirt and shit. It's like I'm like, bro, that's like archaic, but it's natural. There's no process with it. But what I'm noticing too, and what Utopic does with the conversations that I've had, you know, um, they kind of take all the work that you would normally do, and they put it in a bottle for you. You're ready to rock and roll. Like
Yeah, if I could call it compost in a bottle, I would. But
even though it's a multi-part system, meaning it has more than one bottle, it's not an all-in-one. But I actually prefer that personally because if I maybe put too much bat guano in my soil and now I have an ass load of nitrogen, and then when I get into transition or flower, I still see a lot of nitrogen, but I don't want to add something that's going to also put nitrogen in there. So if I can give it something strictly phosphorus, potassium, I like to be able to control. So I do like multi-part systems because you have more control over, what you're giving your plant. Some of these other companies, you know, 10 5 10s and 4 8 6s, you're not able to take the nitrogen out of that if need be. You're not able to take the potassium. If you start getting toxicities or your plant's not responding well to certain things, you can control it better with a nutrient line like Utopic because it has separate things, and it's a well balanced from everything that I've seen personally. It's a very well balanced. You have a ton of control, a ton of flexibility. It's not
It's
hard to use. It's one of the simplest things that you can possibly use out there. Um, so knowing what to put in your soil is key. And how is it going to interact with everything once everything is in there? You know, do you have microbiology in there? Do you have bacteria, beneficial funguses, and what these things do, how long the process takes? You know, a lot of people make a mistake. They'll buy a bag of organic living soil and they'll throw it in a pot and they'll put their plant in there and they'll water it and they're like, this stuff kind of not so great. It sucks. But what they don't know is that soil sat on a pallet in a shelf on a warehouse. It's dried out. Microbiology, a lot of it, 95% of it will go dormant, and it takes a little bit of time to wake up. You don't like hop out of bed and like you're already dressed and in your shoes and in your car with your morning coffee, and you
No.
just end up at work. That's not how it works. It's a process. You got to wake it up. You got to, brush its teeth, shower it, get it ready to rock and roll. So I water my soil, 10 days before I even think about putting it in a planter. I have a tote right here and I just take my sprayer. I don't saturate it. I wet it enough to where that biology can come to life, start colonizing itself. That way, when you do put that plant in there, the car's warmed up, that thing's turning. It's going to immediately start feeding your plant. It's going to immediately stimulate root growth. You're just going to see an overall better plant. It reduces transplant shock. It, just gets that plant moving.
Vigorous.
100%. I mean, that plant, when it's ready to be transplanted, it's like it's wanting it. Give me big space, give me more, give me more. So like you want to keep that energy. You don't want it to be like, oh well, I'm stuck in here for the rest of my life. I'm just going to be depressed and sad now. Like you got to just go with the flow of how your plant's growing. Water is key. You don't want to overwater, because once you start overwatering with living soil, this is where, me and Eric touched on bro science and, the myths and what's true and what's not. This is one of those myths, but it's also very true. A lot of people say, well, water until you get a gallon of runoff. That's excessive, for me, in my experience, because you're washing out a lot of that microbiology, a lot of those organically made nutrients, because they're fresh, they're loose, they're not, you're washing them out, and you're actually hurting your soil more than you're helping it. So knowing your target and how you're growing, what you're looking to get out of your soil, that would be one of the first questions I ask. Am I looking to go seed to harvest and just add
water only, right?
Or try to, and do I plan to, use what the soil has and then amend it, a little bit more for flower when I'm doing my transplant, to give it that boost, so knowing all this stuff and how things work in tandem, because really, if you throw one thing off, it's going to affect a lot of other things, that's just the way it is.
Matt, I wanted to add to, we have some comments. Jazz said that old nails work as well for the iron, for getting rust off of them. Then John Harmon said he liked that he was reading on the site about the separate parts on Utopic. Todd Johansson said to add worms. And then we have John Harmon with his living soil, he tried not to get runoff, but also he bought a moisture meter, which is, this is what I was gonna say to piggyback off of what you said, Matt. When you order a soil, there's something called a microscopic film biome, right? That's a weird thing to hear for the first time if you ever heard it, but it's microscopic film biome. Basically, if you could think of water in a sheet of ice, but that sheet of ice is actually just like a thin layer of water in soil that is got nothing in it when it's just kind of damp. That's what that's called. And as the microscopic film biome gets depleted to almost nothing, there's nowhere for that microbiology to live and act within. So it actually uses the water as the same way that the nutrients are. They just kind of pass through it. And when there's no water, there's no movement of anything, because these things can't get around. So as Matt said, they do go dormant. A lot of this happens when these soil companies ship this stuff. And the reason that is because these bags of soil filled with water, having them saturated, would be like 60 to 70 pounds. But if they put them in the sun or solarize them or put them in a hot room and dehydrate them, what they end up doing is decreasing that microscopic film biome to so little that the microbiology is basically gone when you get the bag. And like Matt said, you do have to allow this stuff to cook. So watering it, mixing it up, keeping it in a closed container, that actually will help a lot for a week or two, even before you start your grow.
Yeah, and I always inoculate my soil even further. I have, there's things that you can purchase that are just straight microbiology, to kind of, it's made for building your own soil, but you can definitely always supplement,
And that actually,
you can't really have too much biology in your soil. You can, but
yeah.
That's actually what Ryan brought as a topic too, was the microbiology in soil.
Yeah, like I know, like I want to touch on how you guys were talking about, not letting soil, dry out and keeping the biology alive and hopping. Like I grow in city picker boxes. They're very similar to earth boxes, and I have them in a 4 box rotation. And now while I'm growing in 4 of them, the other 4 that are out, I'm lucky enough where I have the room that I actually put them under a softer light. I actually plant clover in them and I re-amend them, and that soil is never dry and never depleted of life. So that way, when that next run comes around, that soil is ready to go. All I have to do is pretty much plant the seedling in that thing, and boom, it takes off again. I rotate the other 4 out, and then start all over again. So I think that is clutch, just keeping that soil alive, never letting it dry out, and completely deplete itself.
Right. And what do you use for inoculations? Do you inoculate bacterias or anything specific?
Usually, well, I use a lot of down to earth dry amendment products.
Right.
And the one that I use a lot is called BioLive. I believe it's like a 354.
Right, that's their veg.
Yeah, and so I usually sprinkle some of that on, gets it hopping again. Sometimes I'll even use Recharge itself.
Right. Well, those are more like that's. Go ahead, Rob.
I'll say I used Recharge before my plants were doing really poorly before the Utopic thing. I tried that Recharge and it gave my plants some new life. It really did. I don't know what's in it. I don't know the.
I mean, here's the thing: without the correct amount of microbiology, I don't care if Jesus came down from the heavens and said, "This is the nutrient you need to use to grow your medical cannabis." Without the right biology and without that exchange, none of that stuff is going to work. So you can feed, $1,000 milliliter bottles of whatever, God's gift, let's call it, without the right biology to take that nutrient, make it plant soluble, and get it to your plant and have that exchange of sugars for nutrients and, all that communication, you're not going to get best benefits from the nutrients that you're supplementing in. You're basically pouring one out for the homies, onto the ground, because you might be using an ounce of this nutrient, but without the right biology to get it to your plant correctly, you're just waste, or you have such a high buildup. And this is when people start running into like, I'm feeding my plant. Why is it dying more? It's because your biology isn't able to take what you're giving it and get it to your plant the right way.
100%, Matt. 100%.
There's a couple things there. There's a couple things there, like chelated and auto-chelated synthetics, and then like, if you're in a living soil, what Matt's talking about highlights the fact that your plant's going to use those nutrients in the soil, and instead of washing them out, the microbiology will take those unavailable nutrients and chelate them so they're then available to the plant again. So this is how you're able to recycle what's in there with the microbiology, but at a certain point you'll have to inoculate bacteria. Go ahead, Rod. I sorry, man, I cut you off again.
No, it's okay. I want to touch on just 3 quick things. First thing is, Matt, I'm excited for you to use this, especially now that I've listened to all what you've been saying. You are going to become.
I'm excited to use it.
You're going to become one with Utopic, dude. I swear. You'll figure out everything that the farmer did, why he did it. Like, and so that takes me into first. Let's answer Jen's question. Jen, let's answer her question. Please don't go to the store and buy some Bud Blaster product that costs you $70 for a pint of it, and it's got 0.5 potash on the back. Potash, yeah, 0.5. I mean, that's a Bud Blaster.
Right.
Are you kidding me? So please don't go waste your money on this stuff. Figure out banana peels or whatever you're gonna do, but not that. Okay. And then so let me show you this. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I got a couple of things here that's very interesting. This little thing right here is raw material called NPK. Is your nitrogen potassium phosphate right here. This is what it looks like for above average food grade. This is what the farmer uses on his 5,000 acres of corn. It's above average food grade NPK. So you take that NPK and you refine it to its pureness. This is the exact same thing as this. They're both NPK. We eat our corn with this, and we smoke our medicine with this. And every ingredient in our stuff is refined to this. And this is straight from Chip the farmer. He said, if anybody has any questions, just show them this.
Yeah, that's a big difference, man.
Big difference. Pharmaceutical level graded, cleaned raw material with some organic hormones, some silicates, some humates. Let's throw in all the micros, all the little speck of boron, a little bit of iron, a little bit of and to touch on what you were saying about the jugs and how you liked how it was broke down. The truth of it is that every ingredient in that bottle has to be able to hang out together.
Right.
Kind of like a frat house. I always like explain it like a frat house. You have a frat house, and all the people that live there have a keg party. Everything's fine. As soon as you let another frat house come over and hang out in that group of other frat, what happens? A fight always breaks out. And that's what Chip taught me about. He's like, and at that refinement level, you have to, it takes over a year to formulate, sometimes 2 years to formulate your product in order to take the pureness of this and it's easier to get them to live better with this. It's really hard. It's very difficult to get everybody to live the right way in the bottle.
Right, because they bind to each other.
Yeah, so it's a very particulate thing to do. And only like farmers and chemists know how to do that stuff. But so to answer or to touch on what you were saying, so they work fantastic individually in each jug. They all get along, and then you've got to dilute each one in water. But you were talking about having to drop take all this time for your news. Literally, I never spent more than 8 minutes ever.
Right.
To get my.
Yeah, right. It's so quick.
Every 3 days is a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to take up the time.
No. I'm not
sorry to take up your time. Oh man, it takes longer to cook eggs, dude.
Here's what I'm going to say to you. If I can get the same thing, I hope and I pray that eventually Utopic gets to this level if it's not already in the works. I would love to see some of these in dry amendments, if it's possible, because I would definitely also like to experiment with it being amended into the soil directly. So I would definitely be interested in something like that as well. Like I said, I'm terrible personally with like due diligence and like making sure, like I just want to water my damn plants sometimes and go downstairs and smoke a bowl, and I'm like, I gotta feed them.
Listen, dude, can I make one point? Can I make one point about Utopic? That kind of sets them apart from other feed companies. Like, you're gonna look at a 5-part bottle system from any of the other companies out here, and then look at the feeding chart, and you're going to use certain ones at certain times in certain amounts at certain, and then you're not going to use some in the other times. You're just going to bounce between the two, or you have an A and then a B and then a bud fattener or a mica or something. You know what I mean? And the thing with Utopic is you use every single one, every single feed, just in different amounts. So you don't have to remember which bottles you're using. You just go through it. Check it off on the list. You don't have to write on it, but you just check it off as you go down. Each nutrient, each milliliter, and you just put it into the water. Easy peasy.
Yes.
Call it a day. You don't have to remember.
Here's I'm so glad you said that, Eric, because and I'm gonna name a name right now.
Oh
I'm
boy.
gonna do it. I'm
Oh
not.
boy.
I'm
No,
not
you're
gonna
fine,
say
dude. You're
anything.
fine. This is our subscribers. They literally pay for
yeah,
this, bro.
I can
So
speak.
they
I can
they
speak
better
from
know.
personal experience. I can speak from my own personal experience. You know, if they got people giving good reviews, then they also need some people giving honest reviews, and I'm giving an honest review. I'm not saying that the product's bad, but advanced nutrients. Why in God's green earth do I need to buy 47 different pint jugs, you know, to get the best results? Um, that's my only pet peeve, you know. And who in God's green earth has time to dose a couple gallons of water with 47 different things, you know? Like that's just like, to me, that feels like a money grab. That feels like someone that is in this industry solely, you know, they're like iPhones, man. Like this company is like
Oh
popping
my
out
god.
a new, you know, the
Two
greatest
name
new
drops.
nutrient, you know, like
I'm gonna set a disclaimer on that one.
I mean, whatever, you know. I don't,
We got some comments. We had
sue me.
Peter said he did a banana watering today, and then he also said, "Nice shirt, Rod."
Hey,
That is
thanks.
a
It's my
dope
last
shirt.
one.
Hashtag put it in the water.
You know, I
It's too
just
many
don't,
of
I
these,
don't
dude.
like,
This is gonna be
I
good.
don't like that a company, you know, exploits, you know, people's naiveness and or lack of knowledge because they're just getting
But
into,
think about what
you know,
Rod
trying
just
to.
said. Think about what Rod just said. Maybe they don't have the capital, the
Well,
chemist,
that's why I'm
or the
bringing it up, you
farmer.
know.
Maybe they don't have the capital, the chemist, or the farmer to sit there and figure out how to formulate a 10 bottle system. So it's easier for them to put them all in separate bottles. They hang out better by themselves, right? I mean, they might, and they
who
can make money off you
comprehensively
40
live in an
times.
apartment complex? Who can
Right.
comprehensively live in an apartment complex? They got a 2x2 tent with one plant. They can get these pints. They'll get 5 runs out of it.
Right.
5 one plant. You know.
Right.
And grow just beautiful, good medicinal level medicine.
Right. I mean, there's definitely
that's-
holes. There's
And
definitely
that's
holes.
part of our mission, you know, like our mission is to help people, you know, and Utopic is one of those new partners because we believe that he fits into that mission. You know, get our customers, our members,
You have no idea.
you know, the best
Glad you're here, Rod.
available product, the cleanest available product. For you know, it shouldn't cost you hundreds of dollars. I mean, starting out, yes, you need certain things. It's a
Initial
it's
investment
unavoidable
for sure.
cost.
It's initial
You know,
investment.
but-
This is all that.
But
it has to
the
be
maintenance part of it,
slow.
should not outweigh, you know, what you're getting out of it, you know.
Right.
And a lot of times we see people, you know, just bleeding money in all the wrong directions, you know. So we partner up with people, we get to know people that are like-minded, that have the same goals, you know, and that fit what we're trying to do for our community, you know, and cannabis industry as a whole. You know, like
We need more
still
rods
fairly
out there.
new too. You know, we're only a couple of years into this game, you know, as a business, as a community.
4
You know,
years,
we're
man.
still progressing. We still want more. You know, there's still more to do. You know, so like this is just another step in that direction. We've been talking about this for a very long time, you know, but we weren't really 100% ready to be able to bring because all the pieces of the puzzle weren't together.
Right.
So now that, you know, we kind of feel like we're building, you know, the business, building the community, building our own ecosystem so that we can bring the best advice, the best knowledge, the best people, you know, the best products to our customers and help people in an honest way. You know, if I can give it to people for free, most definitely. I mean, that's what we're doing.
We
we're
have.
talking to you. We're giving you. I mean, yeah, we have. I mean, if I can just give everything to everybody for free, you know, Air Capes, when I say it, you know, cost doing business.
Fuck you.
I say it, you know, and unfortunately, you know, some of those costs have to, but it just keeps allowing us to take the mission further and
Yeah.
assist with you guys more and do more for the community. You know, 4 years ago, like if me and Eric gave away $1,000 worth of stuff, we'd be like, dude, I need to Uber Eats for like the next 3 weeks because we need to like make up that exponential loss, you know. But as we evolve and as we, you know, our community gets larger and we're doing more and we're bringing more people in to help and assist so that we can do even more. Um, you guys are reaping the benefits of it, you know, 100% all the way around, you know, and it's gonna keep growing and it's gonna get bigger and bigger. So like I just want to take a quick second to just shout out the entire community that has
Oh
supported
yeah.
everybody, you know, and I hope that, you know, you guys trust in us and you extend that support to Utopic as well. I mean, if we didn't
Oh,
believe in his if we didn't believe in his product, if we didn't believe in, you know, where he wanted to go and to walk with us, he, we wouldn't you know, we believe in him, so he's here, and we hope that, you know, you guys welcome him with open arms as well.
And actually, to add to that,
I appreciate that.
Peter Klinger said, Rod, get ready to ship his out because he's buying Utopic as well.
Yeah.
It's about time. Where you been, man?
But seriously, Matt has hit the nail on the head. Like, you know, we've only ever tried to bring the community ease of access to information, the right equipment. You know, we don't want to see you fail because you bought the wrong stuff and then give up because you wasted money you can't get back and stuff like that. You know, and Ryan can tell you firsthand, we sat here sourcing lights for, you know, a product that we're trying to, you know, see what the competition is, and not only isn't there competition to what we're building, we're priced underneath stuff that couldn't compete with us. So it's kind of crazy how kind of white. It's like all white labeled. The whole industry is white labeled from people that don't have really any touch to the industry. A lot of these people don't help growers at home. They're helping, you know, big commercial companies get rich, or you know, they're not, you know what I mean. You don't see other lighting nutrient. You see some nutrient companies getting involved with people because, you know, they want to help people get to their potential. But you know, I don't believe that other people are on the same wavelength that we're on, because we're really trying, if there are competitors, we're trying to see if they're worthy of being part of our community. Like, we actually don't see people as competition. We see them as, you know, is that somebody that we could add to the grow community to give our people honest, you know, vetting that we've even used them. You know, we've looked into how they are sustainable or not. You know, we give you the green light, you know, just look out for these things. That's essentially what we'd like to do, is help you to understand what exactly is out there that everybody's so hopped up about. So you either, it's like
there's a lot of false promises out there,
right? Eric. Snake oil,
bunch of crap.
I want people to call
it an entity that like has podcasts and talks with their, you know, community like we do, you know, that just brings information. So like, just find me another company that does that.
Right.
Ryan, what were you saying?
I want people to call, you know, one of these big lighting companies. I won't name anyone, but call them and ask them for a light consultation. See if they'll do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I've never done that.
That right there is crazy.
Should we do that just for fun, Ryan? We should do that.
Call me.
We should do that. We should sit there and call a couple of them and be like, hey, I just don't know what to do, and I'd like you to just kind of make my kit customized to me personally.
Right, start diving into diodes with them and everything, see what they say.
Right. It's definitely a full round.
95% of them won't know what you're talking about. Like,
I know that's the sad thing.
They know the names of the diodes because like that's what they're selling, But like, you ask them like, what's the biggest difference? Like, you start getting into wavelengths and nanometers and par. Like, I mean, they could read what's on the paper,
right?
But they can't really tell
articulate
you
the information.
Yeah, how do they
right?
Right, and that's
I wonder if you call a nutrient company and do that. Hey, what's in your newts?
It depends who. I mean, like there's good nutrient companies out there that'll answer the phone and they're all about helping people out, and we're seeing more and more of it, But the thing that we don't see a lot is these companies going out into the cannabis community and not hurting it, but helping it. Rod, you told me that you gave away $40,000 in nutrients.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nonchalant. Yeah. You kidding me, dude? Like, do you know, like, big companies do that, Rod? Like massive ones, but like you have a heart, man, and that's a thing. Like, there's definitely room to find nutrient companies that are here for the grower and not for your pocket. And if you looked at the business model of these companies, you would know that stuff that they sell for $30 a pound, they can make for 17 cents a pound. And they base their business.
This right here costs 3 times what this costs. This costs 3 times more than this.
Right, but they'll charge as if they're selling the white stuff with the black stuff, right? And that's the thing, man. There's not a lot of honest nutrient companies out there. Me and Rod were looking through nutrient company after nutrient company, trying to find someone that kind of matched up with Utopic. That we did the same thing. We did a little, market research on the matter, and the only other thing that we felt fit the same kind of thing was Vega Matrix. Vega Matrix,
5-part lineup or something like that. Yeah.
5 or 7, but essentially is the same nutrients that you have. And trust me, they have lots of people with great results, and we don't think anything bad of them at all, and they're priced way higher than Rod is. And it's just like, people that are good always cost a lot. But then, like, you see the other nutrient companies that people are using and they're not getting the best results with. And you can see not only the massive price difference, but you can see the quality difference just in websites. Like, there's something to be, like, said about that. There's these websites that are highly produced and the nutrients are low quality. And then there's a website that you can't even buy the nutrients from them, and they're like the best. You can't even buy them from their website, and it's like a rinky-dink website. It's not even that nice. You know what I mean? So, like, it's a weird place to shop for nutrients, man. I'll be honest with you. It's a very weird place to shop. You're going on these websites, you're like, damn, this is a beautiful site. And then, like, you might not align your thoughts and processes of growing with with how they make their nutrients. Like, I personally won't grow with something that's not natural organic. I don't want to smoke synthetic anything. I know that those compounds don't happen in nature, and then to light them on fire is I don't even know what's happening. I know that they're not the same chemicals on the other side. So, I have to stay with an organic, natural.
Matt was talking about new companies that have a lot of products, and I just posted a picture on my Facebook thing, my group there, showing a picture of me in a room that's 30 by 50. There's 30 plants. They were above my head. We put a net up at 6 foot, and we put another net up 8 foot. We were getting 3 pounds per plant. That's successful. That's 90 pounds of room.
That's crazy.
Okay. We were using a company that had 26 products. It's a company that says that they're neutral, or pH gender, or pH neutral. So like, there's technology that creates a perfect pH. And I don't understand. I'm not a chemist. I don't understand all that. But why would a company that says that also have a pH up and down if you don't need it? And they sell it to you for like $1,000 an ounce or something. I mean, like, here's what I found. But here's what I found. I found that every bud from that grow smelled and tasted the same. Like the newts I was pouring in it, man, like big measure cups this big and 250-gallon totes. Glug, 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 glug. $10,000 of nutrients a week from the big boys.
Wow.
And when I found out that it was no good for you, I quit that job. And I was already growing here and using Utopic and trying to get them to, hey, look at this. No, of course not. So I've used other brands, and I've used the 26. What Chip told me was, if you need 26 things to grow cannabis, you need to quit. What are you doing? That can't be good for you. I don't care what anybody says.
Right, but like, Rod, you're right, dude. Matt, how valid is that we go to the festivals and almost every single bud smells and or tastes kind of the same, unless you really go for something that's like jumping out of the bag.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, like a lot of it does smell very similar, tastes very similar. The highs are very similar.
Do you think that's because it's one big gigantic grower selling all these same people weed? Or do you think it's because everybody's kind of using the same synthetic chelated nutrients?
I mean, when you have a stand with like 200 pounds of bud and you just have, pound bags laid across the table with all these different strain names, and you're just like looking at it and you're like, oh, well, this one they said was like 100 an ounce. And this one's 200 an ounce, but dude, they look exactly the same. They smell the same. Let's just buy the 100. And it's just as good as the other shit, dude. Like, it's not bad bud. Don't get me wrong, but unless like Eric said, like if you're looking for something very very specific, which we do have,
the hunt
that
every time
we always look for. It's so hard to find too. It's not hard to find, but you gotta look for it.
You gotta have it. You gotta get it at a festival. Like it's always at a festival.
Talk about it. The super booth.
You gotta look for it.
It's always at the festival, but it's never out like on the table. Or if it's labeled, the labels are all this big, and this label's like this big. I'm just like,
you gotta like know somebody. Be like, yeah, man, you got super proof. No, man.
Like bullshit. Like, you sold it to the other guy, and he's like, all right, yeah, I got it.
I think that guy's got it over there. Like,
hey, like, no, bro. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah.
I was gonna say, has anybody ever tried to trim 90 pounds of weed at one time? We had 13 people, man, working 3 days straight. It was bad.
No, dude, I don't put myself in trim prison.
No, it was horrible.
I mean, half the shit that these people are getting are from, commercial grows that they know people or whatever, and they're getting it like dirt cheap. They don't even care what it is. They're like, oh, it's in a bag. It looks decent. Okay, we'll take it.
How much? 50?
When you have like 50 different strains up and you can say, oh, they're all $100. Like, well, what the fuck? Like, why are they all $100? Like, is one not better than the other? Because like, I don't want to smoke regular. I want the good shit. Like, I don't mind paying for it if it's good. But like, when you approach me with, I feel like I walk into the dollar store. Like, I'm gonna get what I want, but it's not gonna be the quality. It's like a one and done type deal.
There's gonna be a lot of what you need for the moment.
Right.
Yeah, dude, that sucks.
Definitely got to be selective. You have to be selective in life. And this industry is no different. You need to, if you dive right in, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna waste a lot of money. That's just 100%. Like it's
Yeah,
unavoidable
yeah.
if you don't. I'm not saying listen to us. Our advice is good and it's true. But like just get some kind of knowledge under your belt before you just like jump right into it. It's for your benefit.
Right.
And
I
not a
agree
lot of people will
100%.
tell you that. They'll just be like, no, this is what you need. You go on
You're
the
good.
website, buy it. No, like,
Yeah,
I
you're
don't give a
good.
shit, because at the end of the day, like helping somebody is more important to me than seeing a couple dollars populate to my bank account.
Right.
We need to bring to the people, whether it's lights or whatever equipment, newts, whatever. We need to
And
bring
like,
to the people things that they go like this. I'm so glad I spent the money on that.
yeah. And
You
here's
rarely hear
here's
that
the
in this
thing
industry.
too. Like, and I say this at events too, and like I hope people don't ever think it's a rehearsed line, but your success is my business model. Because if I give you good advice, if I give you a good suggestion, if I give you a good product and it works well for you, you're gonna come back.
Mhm.
I don't, you know, some of these companies are for a one and done deal. Like they just want your money initially and they don't care if you come back or not. I'd rather you spend $40 with me and then come back and spend 80 because you had a great experience. So I want you to succeed. We as a whole set you up the best that we can to achieve successful results because we want you to come back. We want to continue to build this community. We're not a multi-million dollar industry, we're a small business. Um, and we count on repeat customers and repeat buyers. It's in our best interest to put the absolute best that we can out there for you.
Right.
I,
100%,
s- I
dude.
say it. I say it with the veterans. We talk about how it's so hard to get help sometimes, and our motto in this one group is, "If not us, who? And if not now, when?"
Right.
When it comes to helping each other. So if we take that to the cannabis world and our brothers and sisters that use this medicine, if we can't help each other, if not us, who? And if not now, when? And if we can't bring something to play to help people, we should go away.
Right. I
100%.
Just the truth. I'll be right back.
We got comments here. A couple people said that they were getting off here. They have some early starts tomorrow. Then you have Jazz. She said she already scored some Uncle Rick's genetics. Much
Nice.
love. Have
Nice.
plenty
Easy,
of them
huh?
growing outside. Room check off the list. Now to test my soil. Get more info about Rod. Get info from Rod about nutrients. It's a good place to start. Rod's definitely a good guy to talk to about nutrients. John, as he said, he's noticed with dispensary stuff starting to taste the same too.
Yep.
And he said he hates trimming. He usually leaves the sugar leaves on and smoke them with it. Just a quick trim. 5 kids, don't have a lot of time. Hey man, whatever works for you.
Yeah, right?
If you're new to watching the podcast, whenever Matt has the fireworks going, that is our cue that
Wrap it up.
we're in our closing comments here. We are waiting for Rod, so we'll just wait for Rod to come back so he can at least let you know how to get in touch with him or find his nutrients. I don't know where he said be right back.
A little podcast. We went a little extended version, which is cool. I don't mind.
Rod, before we hop off here, because we're in our closing comments, you see the fireworks behind Matt. So, where can people get in touch with you or find Utopic Nutrients?
Well, right now, the easiest way is to go through Facebook Messenger and just get a hold of me straight through there. You can also go to our website and it'll tell you go see Rod on Messenger.
So then just go to the website, which is utopicessentialnutrients.com, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And yep. Or they can get a hold of me on Facebook. I answer every call.
Awesome.
And don't get a hold of me. I won't answer.
Don't try to get a hold of me. I don't answer calls. He does. I don't.
Well, before we go, I wish everybody had a good holiday. Be safe. Enjoy it.
Yep. Don't move any fingers with fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do our best to keep our independence.
Absolutely.
That's true.
You know,
that is true. Everybody enjoy your holiday.
Smoke bowls, not your fingers.
Smoke bowls, not digits. Yes.
If you're following along with Uncle Rick's Genetics, we'll be Terp Tuesday tomorrow. Just a reminder for people that are subscribers listening or watching this in the morning. We will have Terp Tuesday at 10:30.
Yeah. And without further ado,
you're gonna say this every time.
Every time, dude.
Every time now.
Just be lucky I didn't bring up the hash, bro.
Oh god, the hash. Oh, it's so gone, dude. That shit's so gone.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
Oh,
well,
dude,
I'm honored, y'all. I'm just honored to be here.
We're happy to have you, Rod. We're happy to have you as well, Ryan.
100%.
It's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until next time.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we'll catch you next time, guys. Next Saturday at 8 p.m. we'll be on here again. Have a good one.
All right. Later.